Hello and welcome to the J.D. Power POWERseat here at the J.D. Power Automotive Marketing Roundtable. Our guest today is Caen Contee, founding member of Lime. And this looks like a Lime product right here. You guys had a big announcement at AMR today about car sharing. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so first, thanks for having us. Ultimately, Lime is reimagining urban mobility. And we've done that to date with electric bikes and electric scooters, as you see here. So they're smart and ultimately multimodal in the sense of you can use one platform, Lime's app, to be able to find, unlock, and take any of our vehicles anywhere at any time. What's unique and what we announced today was adding another fleet to or another type of vehicle to our fleet with now cars and ultimately electric cars as what we're going to be offering across all of our 125 plus markets and growing to date.
Now, is there any interaction when you do that, when you engage in that operation? Are you working with car dealers or is it totally separate from car dealers? How will it work?
Sure. We will be working with car dealers. Ultimately, we don't see ourselves as building our entire own supply manufacturing chain right now. We see ourselves bringing a platform effect and bringing the opportunity to sort of have an on-demand shared access to electric cars as a optimized way for people to get around their city environment day in and day out.
Okay. Now the scooters, the bikes, what market did you first start in and how did it grow? Did it grow fast? Did it grow slow?
Sure. So we're only about 15 months since our first product was launched in our first market in North Carolina. Our first big city was Seattle. Still continues to be one of our biggest cities where we have different modes of our vehicles there. We have ultimately been able to grow now over the course of what is those 15 months to 125 markets across 4 continents in 10 countries and in ultimately 16 international cities.
Your plans for global growth you're going to keep going?
Most definitely. I mean, we see the current sort of goal as getting to 150 countries across the world by the end of this year. Sorry, 150 cities across the globe by the end of this year, and beginning to sort of both grow our fleet numbers there as well as diversify our offering in each of those cities.
Now tell me how, like a city like Seattle, for example, or any market where you have weather that is good and then it gets bad, how does that affect the business?
Sure. Seasonality is a key aspect of sort of what we model into our yearly patterns.
Okay.
The reality is different vehicles have more or less effect with what is weather changes. One of the reasons we're going into cars is it allows us to have a wider range of vehicles that meets not only a wider use case range, but also allows us to sort of offset some of the seasonality effects that would come with some of our other vehicle types.
Right. What do you think is the biggest challenge facing Lime in the next year?
Ultimately, it's talent and culture. We've sort of proven the interest in this space. The sort of customers love it. They have wow experience from the first time they use it. But really enabling us to build the team, to really build them locally, so we're seen as integrated into the city with people who really are there for the long term and invested in that city's future, enabling our culture as one that's gravitational, that really inspires people to do their life's work. That's what we're focused on, as well as continuing our success to be one of the fastest and most innovative and sort of fast executing companies we can.
Do you think it's going to be, for a lot of people, will it replace their mode of transportation or will it complement their mode of transportation?
I think it's really a question of how you see different use cases for vehicles, and it is a matter of offsetting and sort of replacing. To that point, I think it's complementary. It's complementary to public transportation in the sense of we're now seeing more people between a transportation desert be able to go to a bus stop or a light rail stop and find their way back into the city and then go to their office on sort of another line they find at that end. But it's also a question of where do you use cars now? We don't have to always have cars taking up a parking spot. They don't need to be single occupancy vehicles. Right. So I think cars will be used in different ways, but they'll continue to have a need, and they'll be sort of different on what Lime cars will be used for versus a personal car.
Great. Well, I wish you all the best of luck. We've been here with Caen Contee of Lime, and that's it from the J.D. Power POWERseat.